Ladies and gentlemen, it took 6 days and 100+ hours of hard-hitting reportage to force the Karnataka cops to wake up from their slumber and end the long rope given to rape accused Shivamurthy Murugha. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, after copping out, the police arrested the influential Lingayat Seer in a late-night action. But just 4 hours after his arrest, the Seer was rushed to the hospital after he complained of chest pain. He was seen walking to the hospital ward from the police van on foot, but minutes later was moved to the ICU. Several activists have called this a sham arrest and have pointed out that this could be a tactic to evade jail. Listen in.
The whole nation was rejoicing yesterday because the Swami was at last supposedly arrested, but not for more than 4 hours. Immediately, he had all kinds of ailments, from COVID after effects to chest pain to whatever pains. This is the disease that only influential, powerful perpetrators can claim. They are mocking the citizens, the state machinery of this great country. He was happily addressing everybody, talking about his innocence. But now, when he has been remanded to judicial custody, he makes all of this drama. What a shame it is.
Okay, at the outset, we welcome the arrest. But all of a sudden he developed chest pain. Okay, a human being may develop that kind of ill health or anything like that. Let him undergo checkup. Let him given the proper treatment. If at all it is a drama, just to avoid the staying at jail because he is under judicial custody, we oppose it. So, shifting him to Bangalore, is it really required?
But the court cut the chase and since the VVIP treatment doled out to the accused Seer, that's why the Chitradurga Court today pulled up the police for not producing the accused Seer while seeking his custody. The court today even said that if the Seer doesn't have any serious medical complications, he doesn't need to be hospitalized. Now, even as the Seer continues to be in the hospital, the Karnataka government says the probe agencies will do their job without any interference.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾತುಗಳು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ಕಾನೂನು ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ನಡೀತದೆ. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡುವುದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And on the debate, Seer arrest Sham, I'm joined by Bhavna Ramana, actor, Rahul Easwar, activist, Saira Shah Halim, activist. But my first question goes to Lalitha Kumaramangalam, former NCW Chairman. I want to ask you, Lalitha Kumaramangalam, is this just a sham? A POCSO Act accused so long was not arrested, was arrested only after the passage of about 152 hours, and then because there was a media frenzy raising the question, and then VVIP treatment, which is the case almost whether it is a politician or it is a godman, what have you. Are they to be treated with kid gloves, especially when the assault of minor girls is the charge against them?
Navika, the law is the law. It should be the same, applied the same way, equally to everybody, regardless. In this case, it's not just about sexual misconduct or sexual harassment or even, rape, which is what I think is the accusation that's been made. It's also that the fact that these are underage girls who have been, whose trust has been abused in the worst possible way. To begin with, the police should have followed the rule of the law. The pressure from the police or from the public or the press or activists, etc., should not have been the factor that forced them into action. There is a very clearly laid out procedural procedural actions that have to be taken in any cases like this. Secondly, POCSO is a non-bailable, non-cognizable offense. So they should have picked up the person who's the accused person right in the beginning. And you can't say he's sick, so he's in hospital, etc. If he is sick, the police should actually be there keeping an eye on him. You don't allow anybody to meet him, etc. Because this is a very influential person. We know in Karnataka that he comes from a very influential community, and elections are coming up next year. Karnataka votes between the Vokalingas and the Lingayats. This is a Lingayat Seer, a very, very powerful man. Sorry, Seer, not Sir. A slip of the tongue. The fear that everybody has in any case that has to do with abuse of people who are from a poorer community, a backward community, is that there may be undue pressure put on the police to go slow, delay it. There are many ways it can be done. I'm sure all of us sitting on this channel know it. But the other side is also there, that the police must not be pressured into presuming that somebody is innocent or guilty. Whereas in a POCSO case, generally under the law itself, it says that you presume guilty till proven innocent, unlike in most others where it is the other way around. In this case, it's become such a, I don't know, I don't want to call it a farce, but it has become such a public spectacle that the two main issues here that I see are that the fear of misuse of power, political and otherwise.
But
I don't think
it was actually misuse of power. Where is the doubt? Where is the doubt about that, Rahul Easwar? It is the misuse of power that we saw. The man says that he has a chest pain, walks into the hospital, and then suddenly is shifted to the ICU, and then the police realize the faux pas, and when he is taken to the court, a wheelchair appears from nowhere. I just want to ask you.
No.
Yes, religion, faith, followers of certain seers. I'm not questioning all of the matters of faith. I'm on 1 minute, Lalitha Kumaramangalam. I'm coming to you. 1 minute. I'm only asking you, when there are minor girls involved, when there are allegations as serious as the one in this case, is there any morality?
The procedure should have been followed.
Any morality, any propriety in the manner in which this case has been done, and political conspiracy, and if somebody is charging somebody, well, it has to be fought in a court of law. That is at the trial stage. But can you actually just sit hand on hand when a POCSO charge has been applied, Rahul Easwar?
No, I have
Navika, 2 points. As we all know, there is political leverage. Nobody need deny that. It's as obvious as daylight, and we can all see. But only humble submission is, this person is unlike people like, say, Nithyananda, or say even Asaram Bapu.
How do you know? How do you know Saira Shah Halim?
Only a few people came to support him.
How are you going to give the certificate that he is unlike so and so, he is like so and so? I mean, how do you, is that evidence in a court of law?
No, that's not evidence in a court of law. He should fight. He should establish that Basavarajan is behind it. But only one submission is there. In a nation like India, where people and parties are divided over everything, it would be a great sight to see D.K. Shivakumarji on one side and Yediyurappaji on the other side voicing the same thought. Because this man has credentials. Yes, there is a Lingayat factor, Lingayat Veerashaiva factor, 17% vote bank is there. But beyond that, there is a goodness of this man, which is a proven thing. If you ask around, you will know that. So there is a track record. People are at disbelief whether what happened is right or wrong. People suspect Basavarajan. 2 days, these children stayed at Basavarajan's house. We are doubtful whether they are being tutored. Yes, this should all be established in a court of law. But only one thing. Ram Tiwari last 2 months was released. He was in jail for 7 years. He was a Kendriya Vidyalaya teacher. After 7 years, the court found out the POCSO case was false. Neither was the girl raped, nor was she pregnant, nor was she aborted. He was in jail for 7 long years.
Well, so that is a miscarriage of justice in a particular case. But Saira Shah Halim, does that actually give the license to the police in Karnataka to believe that it happened to one man, so therefore it should not happen to this Seer, and therefore we will just sit, we will not do anything. It's just coincidental that this Seer comes from the Lingayat community, big followers, 30% vote bank for every political party, and therefore minor girls and the rape charges be damned.
See, I'll make it very clear that the police took its time to arrest this Seer because they were collecting evidences against this person. And, you know, after a lot of noise, and I would also give credit to you all also that you all brought this to light, that is the reason the Seer has got arrested. Now he's complained of chest pain and he's under medical investigation. That's a separate story. But people should be very clear that if they are in the position of authority, or if they are godmen, or if they belong to a cult, or whoever they might be, they cannot escape the clutches of law if they have been accused of a serious crime. Here, this is a POXO case because there are 2 minor girls involved, and she happened to be a part of, they were previous disciples of this person who very clearly has taken advantage of their trust and betrayed them. So, and there are more voices that are coming out, they're speaking, there are multiple allegations here, so all of them cannot be lying. And a person might be a public person, he might have a public persona, he might be revered by the Lingayat community, however, that does not absolve him of the alleged crime.
That is the important fact, and I want to ask Bhavna Ramana. Bhavna Ramana, my question to you is, the arrest has come late, but do you think finally justice will be done? Because as a society, as a community, don't we owe this to minor girls in our society that you know, even the powerful will have to live by the law of the land?
Yes, though there is a delay, ma'am, it is already proven that every powerful man, whatever the bigger position he is in, I think he is just the same in front of the law of our country and this land. That's the beauty of this land and the democracy too. What I would want to say is, since it is about the Matha, it doesn't just cater to one community, that is Lingayat. It is a epitome of everybody in the society, whether rich, poor, woman, man, or any caste, whether it is Dalit, Muslim, Christian, everybody comes there, Lingayat, non-Lingayat, and the other OBCs, every sector of people, they do come, and they're part of the educational institutions too. They're really studying there. They've been the disciples of that. So it is not just the Lingayat people who've been the devotee or a disciple of this institution at all. So that's the kind of mannerism that he has treated the society, and he has kept on practicing the same way. So he has given immense love and affection to everybody, irrespective of the caste and creed or the color or the religion of the society. That is what makes him much more higher than anyone else probably.
Very true.
And another thing is, I really personally think the politicians or the chief minister of the state or the home minister of the state, if you say there has been a delay, because I don't know the legality of this whole case, I mean like the POSCO, what it demands and things like that, I just feel I understand the nativity of this land, and then when they must have dread, there could be an emotional outrage which couldn't be handled by the police or the government in the right manner. That is the way, that is why maybe they must have really delayed this.
Well, if whether it was delayed to curb any outpouring on the streets of Karnataka, or whether it was just tardy application of the law by the police, the jury is out on that. But it is a country that depends on the constitution of the land, and the law of the land has to apply. There cannot be VVIP treatment either for politicians or cult figures or seers of this kind, even if this case is an allegation which still needs to be proved in a court of law. The facts of the case will have to be fought in a court of law. Law cannot be bent for the high and mighty. That's the big takeaway. Thank you very much to all my panelists, and thank you viewers for joining me on the NewsHour tonight. Good night, be safe, but don't go away, because Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan is coming up with the NewsHour at 10 on the other side.